Hello and welcome. Let's check out another stack of packs from the 1990 Pro Set Football Series 1 with all kinds of great players, inserts, and errors. The best card as we find them will go onto our podium. The winner will be the last one standing at the end. We'll talk about players, we'll talk about values, and just have a good time along the way. So with that, let's dive right in and see what pack 1 has in store for us. Jets Colts, Super Bowl III. Charles Mann, Redskins. Al Noga, Vikings. Tunch Ilkin, Steelers. Irv Pankey. Art Monk of the Redskins. Drew Hill for the Oilers. Jim Wilkes. Sean Collins of the Falcons. Gary Anderson. Cornelius Bennett of the Bills. Joe Montana, quarterback, card number 8. Looks to be in phenomenal shape. Let's tuck that into a sleeve. From a value perspective, I think only around $20 or so as a PSA 10, which could be less than the value of, or the cost to grade it. So we will tuck that in here. But very cool to see Joe, and he'll take our podium position right now. Following up, we have Dennis Smith and Marion Butts, Tim Rosenbach, and our scratcher. Next one coming up. Trying to be gentle with those corners there. You never know what's inside. Super Bowl 16. Thane Gash. Wade Wilson. Pro Bowl in Hawaii. It's a cool view. Raif Moshejenko. Marty Schottenheimer. Eugene Robinson. John Forcade. Flipper Anderson. Carnell Lake. Mark Kelso. Thurman Thomas. Ronnie Lott. Some great players coming through. Gary Plummer. And Bruce Smith. All right. Relatively quiet for some big time packs, so let's see if we may get any noise in this one. The ring looks really cool. It was the 1981 Raiders over Steelers Super Bowl 15 in New Orleans. We got Paul Farron, Keith Millard, Pharrell Edmonds. We got John Taylor, Vincent Brown, Jeff Bryant, Vaughn Johnson, John Settle, Chuck Noll, Sean Farrell, Andre Ware, and Dalton Hilliard, the regular card. He has a special lower numbered 1-2. Billy Ray Smith. And Clyde Simmons with card 250. All right. Super Bowl 12, Cowboys over the Broncos, 1978 in New Orleans. Tyrone Braxton, Anthony Carter, Clay Matthews, Felix Wright, Hartley Dykes, Bud Carson, Roy Foster, and Gary Zimmerman, Bubby Brister, Ozzie Newsome, and this one I believe is the error if it says Little Rock, and it does say Little Rock right down there. So very cool, we got it. Looking at the front, it is in immaculate shape. Absolutely beautiful. This box or this stack of packs is just beautiful. So we will put him into a sleeve, and we'll check all the saver. He's a card to save. We'll check all those out later on and see which ones may be worth sending out for grading. But I think Joe Montana will stay on our champions podium. And we got Walter Stanley, Chris Carter, Michael Irvin, Jim Jensen. All right. So let's check out. Here's our scratcher. We are in the middle of the run right now. Pack number 5 of 9. Let's see what comes through. Super Bowl 20. Bears with a decisive victory over the Patriots by a score of 46-10. Eugene Lockhart, Joey Browner, Greg Bell, Eric Williams, Bobby Humphrey, Leslie O'Neal, Tim Harris, Tom Rathman, right around the Jerry Rice numbering and coloring, same team, Ray Donaldson, Ron Morris, Jack Lambert, Dean Basucci, Dan Henning, and Lewis Sharp. All right, still a very quiet stack over here. Maybe a hologram is lurking around the corner. What do you think? I'm going to go with yes, although statistically I would likely be wrong. Super Bowl 14, Steelers-Rams, Chris Spielman, Chris Dolman, Mike Wilcher, David Grayson. We got Mark Clayton, Mike Dahl, Ed West, Steve DeBerg, Lee Williams, Dino Hackett, and Joe Montana, card number 2. Let's check if it's the error card. It would have 3,521 yards next to Jim Kelly's name. And there it is. All right, we got the Joe Montana error card. Very cool, worth around $60 in a PSA 10. And this one is looking quite immaculate. I think very 10 potential. So we'll save him for later, put him in that group of cards, and we'll check things out. But very cool. Always great to pull a Montana, especially one looking so good. Does this replace the other one? Player of the year and the passing leader. Interesting. So the new one is the passing leader. Their old one The previous one was passing leader. We have NFL Player of the Year, and I think he has one or two more in this set. So to keep things moving, let's put the new one on the podium. Joe Montana overtakes himself to stay in the lead. We got Jim Jeffcoat, Vincey Glenn, Louis Oliver, and our scratcher. All right. Let's run through Super Bowl 7. You see what I see? That's right. It is card number 102, Barry Sanders. There we go. We're getting huge. Let's take a look at the front. Condition is everything in a great condition. This card has collectible value of around $100 when graded. So let's see. And it looks really, really good. A little whitening. Yeah, tiny bit of the white down there. So this may not be a 10. But it is close. Maybe that's card dust. For now, we're going to save them. But there we go, pulling the Barry Sanders. What more can you ask for? That's a pretty awesome find. And we're just getting started. We're not even through these yet. Barry's going to overtake Joe. And let's see who's next. We got Bob Golick, Jackie Slater, Alvin Walton, and we got John Stevens. Oh, there we go. Mike Ditka, Brent Fullwood, John Alt, Shane Conlon, Don Griffin, Tom Landry, head coach, card number 28, worth around $55 in a PSA 10. This one looks to be in immaculate shape. Surface is smooth, corners are tight, centering looks good, the back looks nice. Let's definitely save this one and take a look down the road. So always fun to see what comes up next. And part of it's finding a card, and then part of it is the condition that it's in. So it's almost like half the excitement of just finding a cool person, cool card, and then if it's in good shape, even better. So Eric Sievers, the last in this pack. We have 2 packs to go, and we are cruising through. Let's see what we've got here. Trying to be careful with these corners because you don't know who's in here. It could be a Bo Jackson. Super Bowl number 2. We got Eddie Murray, card 101. Steve Smith of the Raiders. John Robinson. Guy McIntyre. Andre Tippett, Irv Eatman, Perry Kemp, Charles Haley, Derek Thomas, Ron Holmes, and Anthony Thompson. Jack Party, Bert Grossman, Harry Galbraith. And the last card of the stack, what do you think we're going to pull next? I have no idea. Let's do a hologram check. Hologram check. Nope. Nothing's looking super odd or thick. Super Bowl 8. Benny Blades, Tim Brown, Jim Everett, Rod Rust, John Elway, all right. And I'm going to tuck this in a sleeve because these cards, for whatever reason, this stack or this box is just in immaculate condition. So I think this is worth maybe $15 or $20 in a PSA 10, but this looks so good that I can't pass up at least putting it into a sleeve and trying to keep it at 10, even if it's not a crazy valuable card. So there's our John Elway. Steve Wisniewski. All right, here could be a big one. In a 10, he's blocking for Bo Jackson on the front. And so let's see how the condition is. And this could be worth around $300 if it's a high condition. What makes it extra tricky is that it's all the black borders. So getting clear black edges, especially on older cards, is tough. So let's turn it over and see what we have on the front. Whoa. All right. So it seems pretty smooth. I do see some marks. I don't know if that is card dust or if it is ink. Nope, looks like it's ink. So our potential 10 is likely not, but you could see a little bit here, here, and up here. So we'll still put them in a sleeve just in case it is just kind of caked on, paper from the printing process, but very likely not. And that is why it's so hard to get a 10. You think it's easy, there's a lot of cards, you just pull enough out, but even in a pack where the cards are looking really good, you never, ever know. Let me grab a few more sleeves here. And we'll keep the train going with Johnny Holland, card number 110, linebacker of the Packers, Michael Walter, Mike Johnson from the Pro Bowl, Stanley Morgan, Percy Snow, Kelvin Martin, Mohamed El-Wanibi, and Wilbur Marshall. Our scratcher. And that does it for this stack. We have Barry Sanders coming out on top along with Steve Wisniewski. We got Tom Landry. We have 2 Joe Montanas. And we have our Ozzie Newsome card. So really great crew. I think, actually let's pop this down here. Now we can see everything just right. Cool. So there's our lineup. I hope you learned something and hope you had some fun. And thanks for joining. And there you have it. Until next time.